This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Can you hear me? Please confirm. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. So in the last session, we have learned, if you look at the notes of the previous session, we have learned how to use variables in playbooks, isn't it? So we have learned how to use variables. There are three types of variables. Quick recap: global scope variables, host scope variables, and place scope variables. Global scope variables will have a highest priority. This is how we can create a variables inside a playbook, and then we can pass the values by using extra vars option. You can pass the values to the particular variables. According to the values you pass, the playbook gets executed. These are global scope variables. We also had discussed about place scope variables. Last one, the last type of variables which has the least priority, that is called as place scope variables. In place scope variables, we create the variables and then we pass the values within the vars section. I hope you remember. Look at this. In the vars section, stands for variable section, we create variables and we pass the values, and those variables we use it in the playbook. Okay, so these values are picked up from this ABC variables. Values are picked up. So these values are considered as default values, and anyways you can pass the values by using extra vars. So play scope variables are variables which are declared within the playbook, and the values what we enter inside the variables are also these variables are called as play scope variables. And there's third type of variables. Those are host scope variables, which are very important. Host scope variables. Now, what is host scope variables? How can we use these host scope variables? Let's try to understand in today's session. So today let us discuss about host scope variables. As of now, how many managed nodes we are having? If you observe, look at this. We have controller server 1, server 2, server 3. So as of now, we have server 1, server 2, server 3, and we also have one mission called as a controller mission, isn't it? Okay. To discuss about understand clearly host scope variables, I want to create one more manager node. So I want to create one more manager node. 4 nodes you will have it. Now, why are we creating one more manager node? Because now I want to perform a grouping of the inventory file. So we learn now. So what we'll do, as of now, I'll create one more node. Launch instance. As usual, going with Ubuntu.
Hello.
Select an existing key pair. Yes.
Yes, sir. In real time also, in security, they provide all traffic counting.
1 minute. 1 minute. That's it. Now here I want to open connections, all types of ports for this particular server. So that's the reason I'm selecting all traffic and source from anywhere. But in the real time, you need to allow specific ports that the AWS team will take care of. What port needs to be open.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't need to worry. So I'm making it as server 4.
AWS team is Is there a mandatory or not there?
Now, AWS team, in case if you're creating and if the requirement is to create an EC2 machine, the AWS team will help you to create an EC2 machine. Okay. AWS team and DevOps team closely work with each other because all the tools we deployed on a cloud platform, so they have the AWS team.
Okay.
Okay. So I have connected to server 4. I want to connect to server 4. Style. Disconnect this. It's very slow today. Connect to server 4. I hope you know the steps. First, we need to downgrade the Python. Define the password for Ubuntu. Password authentication by default value will be no. Change to yes. Now I need to connect to controller and copy the keys to server 4, isn't it? Do you remember? You're connected to controller. Now I generate the keys are already generated. I don't need to generate the keys again. I'll copy the keys to this private IP address of the server 4. Take the server 4 private IP. And we need to add the new IP address in the inventory file. Do you remember in the controller machine we'll have inventory file? The default inventory file is host file. that host file should have the IP addresses of all the nodes, isn't it? So as we have added new node, the new IP address should also be included in the host file. So I'm going to this location Ansible. There's a file called as host file. I open this host file. Insert, take the private IP address of server 4. Escape. Now Ansible LA, this should work on 4 machines now. Machine 1, machine 2, IP address, machine 3 IP address, machine 4 IP address. Perfectly. I have added a new node, created a new node and added that node to the control. Now control is perfectly communicating with all the 4 nodes. Now, what are we doing this? We are learning how to perform grouping of inventory file. We are learning how to perform grouping of inventory file. What do you mean by grouping of inventory file? Now, for example, we have how many nodes we are having? 4 nodes. Assuming a cloud infrastructure is having some 100 nodes. In this infrastructure for specific clients, few servers will be database servers out of hundreds, assuming they are maintaining 100 servers. Few servers will be database servers. Few servers will be application servers. Few servers will be web servers, isn't it? There are different types of servers. So it's always better to group them because let's say as a DevOps team, you got a requirement to do some configurations from the database team. You'll be performing only on the database servers. You'll be not performing on all the 100 servers, isn't it? Because you want to perform some configurations on only one database service. That's always best thing to group it and make it as a make the inventory file divide into separate groups. Look at this. We can do grouping like this. If there are 2 web servers, this is how to create a group. Square brackets mention the group name. And these 2 machines I want to include in the web server group. This machine I want to include in the app server group. This machine I want to include in the database server group. Like this, same file, the inventory file which we have, as of now, it's not having any groups. But practically, inventory file will have groups. Application server, web server, database server. This is how the groups looks like. It's always good to divide the machines into groups so that you'll understand. Okay, this is the inventory of. These are the machines of web server. These are machines of database server. These are machines of application server. The advantage anyways, we'll see it now. So first what I'll do, I'll divide this into groups. As we have 4 nodes, I'm dividing it into 3 groups. Web server 1 group, app server 1 group, and database server 1 group. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm opening the host file. Insert mode, web server. First 2 machines, I make it as web server. Next machine, I name it as app server. Next machine, I name it as DB server. As every Ansible command, do you remember? Every Ansible command, we are writing Ansible all. Every Ansible command, as of now, we are using Ansible all. That means to all the machines which are there in the inventory file. Instead of using the all keyword, look at the way I'm writing it. Ansible app server. What is app server? What is app server? App server is the name of the group. That means I want to run the Ansible command on this particular group only. This group is having how many machines? Only one machine. That's what this means. When you run this command, this runs only on one machine. The free command will show you the free memory space, used memory space available, isn't it? It's running on only one machine. Same command, if I write it as web server is a group which is having how many IP addresses? 2 IP addresses. This means this particular command will work on how many machines? Tell me. This particular command will run on 2 machines. Web server is a group which is having 2 IP addresses, right? Whereas instead of app server, web server, if I use all, it will run on all the machines. So you now know the importance of grouping the inventory file. Different types of servers, make it different groups, and perform the configurations on the group. Okay. So that's how we can perform grouping. So we already have discussed. Now variable which works on group of hosts are called as host scope variables. Now coming to one more type of variables, host scope variables. These variables will work on groups. For example, creating a folder called playbooks. Okay, we have this. I'm creating a folder called playbooks. CD playbooks. As of now, there are no playbooks. In this playbooks folder, I'm creating a directory called group_vars. I'm creating a directory called group_vars. Okay, directory got created. I want to enter into that particular directory. Okay, what we can do that? As of now, the directory is empty. Creating a file. Name of the file is web server. Important point to observe. Name of the file is web server. In that file, I'm using A, B, C, D, E, and understand these are nothing but variables and these are values. All these variables I'm creating in a file called as what? Web server. Insert mode. Variables and the corresponding values. So I have created a file. The name of the file is web server. The web server is having how many variables? 5 variables and the corresponding values. So I want to go back to the playbooks folder, cd dot to go to its previous place. I'm in playbooks folder. Now this is the folder where we have the variables. Creating a playbook 8.yaml file. Let's try to understand the code. Host all the playbooks till last session. We are using host all. Like in the Ansible command, all here in the host machine, in the host option, I'm writing it as all. First time I'm using as web server. What is web server? Web server is a group name. That means this particular playbook will run only on that particular group. Like how Ansible command, you're making sure that it runs on a particular group, not all the machines. In the same way, your playbook also, you can create a playbook and run it on a group. Because in this, till last session, we are using host all. Instead of all, I'm using web server. And you can task creation is what we are creating a user. You obviously user module, name, password, home directory, user shell, and these variables I'm mentioning, and values. Where did I mention? In this file. Got it? So first, let's create a playbook. Insert mode. Escape. Save it. Now run the playbook. Ansible-playbook. What's the name of the playbook? Playbook 8.yaml file. What happens when you run the playbook? See, it's running on how many machines? Only 2 machines. Our inventory file is having 4 machines, but it's running on all, not all the 4 machines. It's running on 2 machines because our group is having only 2 machines. So this is how we can create a playbook and run it on playbook on a specific group. Not only that, if a playbook is having variables, we used to pass the values either by using extra var option, but we are not doing it, isn't it? It picks up the values which are there in the file. We have created a file. That file is having variables and variables. That file will be mapped automatically and picks up the values from that particular, picks this values for the variables from that particular file. Clear about this? Clear? Any questions in understanding the concept of playbooks? Okay, so let's proceed. One more example. Let's add few more variables. We have only 4 variables, I think, right? 5 variables. I'm adding few more variables. So where is the variable? So I need to go to group underscore vas. Open the web server file. So total we are having some 8 variables. Creating a playbook 9.yaml file. Let's try to understand this playbook. See, installing software, apt modules, name what software you want to install, state equal to present. That value present I have used it in the variable file. Update cache equal to no, it picks up the value. So your file can have a number of variables. It's not compulsory that your playbook should use all the variables. You can playbook should pick up only the variables whichever you want. So let's create this playbook. Done. Installing software packages. Okay. Web server. It's on group. That's the reason it's working on 2 machines. So this is same notes what we have discussed. So you now know how to perform grouping and how to create a file which has variables and values. Okay. Now these are the playbook which runs on group of machines, right? So point to have you observed that the name of the file which we have created, this is the name of the file which we have created, web server, should match with the group name. The name of the file web server should match with the group name. Our group name is also web server, right? So that's how matching should happen. That's how linking happens. Compulsory the name of the file should be group name. So when you're working on this particular group, you can use those variables which are there in that particular file, not in other groups. That's why these are called a host scope variables, which are works on specific host. I'll give one more example. Variables which work on single host or single mission. Single host is nothing but single mission. Okay. So I'm creating a folder called host underscore was. I'm creating a file. The file name VI editor is used for creating a file name. File name is nothing but the IP address of that machine. Last time the file name was matching with the group name. Let's say if you want to configure only one machine, then the file name should match with the IP address of server 4. So what is our IP address of server 4? This is the IP address. Creating 3 variables and the corresponding values. Creating a playbook. Insert mode. If you look at this playbook is running on only one machine. Let's say you want to do configurations on only one particular machine. Let's say you're in a group also. Let's say if you want to do configurations on only one machine, the host section you should mention the IP address rather than mentioning the group name. And then you're passing the variables here A, B, C, and the values from where it should pick up. The values for the variables A, B, C should pick up from the file, and the file name should match with this IP address. That's the concept of host scope variables. Okay. Sorry. I think we need to go back to that. We need to go to the playbooks folder. Here I'm creating, not in that one. We need to create it in the playbooks folder. Runs on only on one machine. What was the problem? Task section. Looks like some syntax error. The task section, an option which define variable A. We create variables. Host underscore was one. Host underscore was. There's no file. What is our private IP address of machine 4? Ending with 97. So this is a file which I want to create. Not here, cd dot dot. You need to go to playbooks folder and run the playbook. It's running on one machine. Yes. So you can run a particular playbook in group in one machine, specific machine. In that case, you should mention the host section as private IP address. You can mention it as a group name. You can use the keyword all. But the point here, I'm explaining about the host to scope variables. You can create a file which contains a list of all the variables like this and use the variables in the playbook. That these variables are called as host scope variables. Is specific to one particular machine. Variables are specific to one particular host is called as host scope variables. So these are the three types of variables we can use it in Ansible: global scope variables, place scope variables, and host scope variables. Okay. Implementing loops. Implementing loops is very, very important. So for example, I want to install tree. I want to install Git. I want to install JDK. I want to install Apache 2. 4 softwares I want to install. You need to run the playbook 4 times, right? First you create a variable. No doubt you will create a variable. And you need to run the playbook 4 times by passing 4 different values. Even that can be also simplified by using the concept of loops. When you're implementing loops, most important point, when you're implementing loops, the name of the variable should be item, mandatory. You cannot write A, B, C, D or something like that. Ansible module can be implemented using loops. Okay, so you need to use a variable item. And then there's a keyword called with underscore items, which is a list element where you can pass these values. That means this particular loop playbook will execute for 4 times. First time it will take the value tree, second time it will take the value trick, Git, JDK, and Apache. What's the keyword? With underscore items. So let's create a playbook here. Run the playbook. Let's wait, because the loop should execute. It will take some time, is it? Yes, it's working on first machine. As it is taking time because it loop should execute for 4 times and it has been successfully completed. Two things you need to keep in mind when you want to implement loops in Ansible. First point, number one, variable name you cannot declare it as A, B, C, D, whichever you want. Variable name should become mandatory as item. Mandatory. With underscore items is a keyword where you helps you to understand that the playbook is having loops and the loop will execute for 4 times. Clear about this? Yes. So this is what I have planned for today's session. So we have discussed about host scope variables. We know now how can we perform grouping of inventory file. We also know how to implement loops in Ansible. In tomorrow's session, we have topics like exception handling. You can perform related actions. The few topics which are remaining with us will be completing Ansible, and then we'll be moving to the next part that is called as Kubernetes. Okay, so that's our plan for tomorrow's session. Any questions on today's session? Very simple. Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, I.
Sir, I got one mail from AWS account. What is the question here? We are using AWS account exceeded 85% of the usage.
Okay.
Now we need to
No,
terminate the instances.
no, AWS comes with some limitations. Do you know,
Yeah,
Sai? It is
yeah,
having some.
30 GB free tier limitation.
You know how to see where to see the limitations?
No,
How? Okay, I'll
can you
show
show
it.
me one?
Okay.
No, for this, I use 26 GB sir now as of now.
Okay.
I have a total 7 or 8 instances.
Now, first point, how to see the billing. You get the bill in case if it's exceeded. Do you know how to see the billing? Services. Search for
Billing.
billing. Right. I have 761 rupees bill. Okay.
Okay.
Like this here, you can see the bill. Okay.
Okay, we need to, must and should we need to pay for it?
No, it's not compulsory that you have to pay for it. Okay. It's just a bill, but you will not get bill, I think so. Please check it from your account.
Okay.
Okay. And if you want
Because
to
we
see the
already
usage,
saved the card, right? Card.
no, it will not be automatic. You have to manually pay it. Even though you linked the card, you have to manually pay it. So here is the free tier services by usage, where in which you can see which service, because of which service you're getting the bill. I'm getting the bill because of mostly this one. Which one? EC2. Okay.
Okay.
So I have exceeded. Right now I have 30 GB limitation. I have exceeded 29 GB. 26
Yes.
GB. So I have now.
26
So
GB.
please go to check this, and then if it is nominal height 80 rupees, 40 rupees paid, that's not a problem. Even though you don't pay, it's not a problem. Okay. And again, you need to wait for 10 days. Again, it will be reset and you start using your account. Okay.
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 If
Thank you.
we terminate the instances, again we need to configure, right? Everything.
You have to configure this. If you're not using, terminate the instances. Okay. If you don't want the bill to be paid, please terminate the instances so the bill will stop.
Practicing only, I keep it all everything as of now.
Okay. How many machines we are using?
7 instances, sir.
Why 7 instances?
In
Remove the instances.
Ansible, 3
Okay.
servers
That
is
will
there.
one controller, 3 manager nodes, right? Only 4 machines.
Yes. And Linux, Git and Jenkins, everything I have.
Okay. So once when you're practicing Linux, when you're practicing Ansible, remove the machines related to Docker and all basics of Linux. First
Okay.
complete Ansible and then again create new machines. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Thank you.